Be prepared. Most people will go to sleep on June 18th thinking it's just another night. But you didn't come here to sleep through a spiritual alarm. The moon is whispering, louder than ever. You've felt it, haven't you? That restlessness, that inner pressure, the dreams that feel too vivid, the emotions that appear out of nowhere, the sense that something is trying to get your attention from beyond the veil. That's not random. That's a call. Between June 18th and 19th, the lunar energy isn't just shifting, it's testing. You are being pulled into a portal of release, and what you do with these next 24 hours will either accelerate your healing or trap you in another emotional loop. Have you noticed the way people are suddenly more reactive? How your own body is craving silence, retreat, or even tears with no clear cause? That's your spirit detoxing. You are being shown what needs to go, not because you're being punished, but because you're finally strong enough to let it go. This is not the time for distraction. This is not the time to ignore your intuition, because what's coming through this moon could either weigh you down or set you free. Are you listening? You may have noticed something strange in the past few days, mood swings that seem exaggerated, a sudden wave of sadness with no clear cause, anger that rises out of nowhere and then disappears just as quickly. This isn't instability, it's a purge, and the moon is behind it. As we move through June 18th into the early hours of June 19th, the lunar energy isn't soft, it's surgical. It's cutting cords, pulling out emotional toxins, and showing you the patterns you keep repeating, especially the ones you thought you had already healed. If you're asking yourself, why is this coming back again? The answer is simple. This time, you're being asked to release it fully, not just cope with it. Have you been avoiding a conversation you know you need to have? A decision you've delayed for months? A truth you feel but haven't spoken out loud? The moon is shining a spotlight on those exact spaces. It's not trying to embarrass you. It's trying to free you. You might feel exhausted, emotionally raw, or hypersensitive. That's not weakness. It's sensitivity working as strength. Your emotional body is being recalibrated. What used to be stored as trauma is now being exposed as guidance. But here's the key. You can't rush this process. You have to let the emotions move through you without shutting them down or pretending they're not there. And if you're wondering why it's so intense right now, it's because this moon sits between two powerful energetic pulses, the residual effects of the strawberry full moon and the upcoming shifts around the solstice. That means everything in your field is being magnified, especially your unspoken truths. So ask yourself now, what am I still holding on to that no longer belongs in my next chapter? What part of me keeps choosing the familiar over the free? What would it feel like to finally let go without fear? This moon isn't just emotional, it's intelligent. It knows where to press. It knows what you're still hiding. And above all, it knows what version of you is waiting on the other side of release. Let it work through you. Let it bring the pain to the surface, not to harm you, but to heal you. Because after June 19th, the doors start to close on this particular cycle. And what you carry beyond that point will be amplified. Choose carefully. There's a strange tightness in the air, not physical but energetic, like something unseen is pressing inward, limiting your movement, clouding your clarity. For many sensitive souls, This moment between June 18th and 19th feels like an invisible box closing in. You're not imagining it. This is spiritual claustrophobia, and it's one of the final tests of this lunar cycle. The moon, in her waning but potent phase, is compressing timelines. That means past choices, lingering emotions, and delayed decisions are all being pushed to the surface at once. You might feel like you're running out of time, like everything is happening too fast, and yet nothing is moving at all. This paradox isn't meant to break you. It's meant to focus you. Have you noticed how distractions are no longer tolerable? How you can't stand small talk, pointless obligations, or environments that feel off? That's because your soul is rejecting what no longer resonates with your future. The moon is narrowing your path, not to punish you, but to show you exactly what belongs. And it's uncomfortable for a reason. The pressure is intentional. It's meant to create a sense of urgency, a push, a nudge toward alignment. When your inner world feels suffocated, it's because your spirit is outgrowing its current shell. You're being invited to break through, but not by force, by clarity. Ask yourself, what feels too small for who I'm becoming? What emotional walls have I built that now feel like cages? If I could breathe one honest truth into this moment, what would it be? This isn't about escape, it's about confrontation. The moon wants you to sit in this discomfort just long enough to realize what you're truly tired of and what you're ready to rise into. The spiritual weight you feel isn't here to collapse you. It's here to expose where your soul has been suffocating under silence, overthinking, or compromise. So don't resist the pressure, use it. Let it show you where you're still trying to fit into versions of yourself that were never meant to last. This final lunar tightening is not a trap, it's a tunnel. And on the other side is breath, expansion, and a path that finally matches your inner frequency. The question is, will you walk through, or will you keep shrinking to fit where you no longer belong? You may have noticed it recently. The sudden headaches, the racing heart without a trigger, the overwhelming fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix. Maybe your stomach has been tense, your appetite shifting erratically, or your skin breaking out for no clear reason. These are not random symptoms. These are energetic expulsions. Your body is purging what your soul has silently carried for too long. The days around June 18th and 19th bring not just a spiritual gateway, but a cellular reckoning. The moon's pressure doesn't just move through the skies, it moves through you. The pain you're feeling? It's old grief exiting. Unspoken truths vibrating out. Trapped energy finding release. Have you felt like crying for no reason? Or like screaming into a pillow without understanding why? Have you felt heat rising in your chest? Or a heaviness behind your eyes? These are all signs that your energetic field is finally discharging the stories, the fears, and the identities that kept you small. Your body knows the way out, but it needs you to listen, not to suppress. This lunar moment is unique because it's targeting density, the kind of emotional and energetic weight you've normalized. The moon is pulling it out like gravity, and the purge will come in waves, some emotional, others physical. But don't panic. This is detox. This is your system recalibrating for the path you asked to walk. Remember, healing doesn't always look like light and love. Sometimes it looks like sweat, like tears, like lying on the floor feeling like everything is collapsing, when in truth, everything is clearing. Ask yourself, what has my body been trying to express that I've been ignoring? Where have I been numb just to keep functioning? What emotions am I afraid to feel because I think they'll consume me? You are not being punished, you're being purified. And this purification is necessary because what's coming next requires lightness. It requires clarity in the nervous system, softness in the heart, and truth in your cells. The purge may feel like a breakdown, but it's actually a preparation. So if you're feeling off, don't fight it. Drink water, rest deeply, let the tears come. Let the trembles shake loose what doesn't belong anymore. The moon is helping you shed the emotional armor that once protected you, but now only weighs you down. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. Let the purge do its work. Your soul already knows what you're making space for. Have you felt the pull to withdraw? Not out of sadness or avoidance, but from an instinctive knowing that something big is moving beneath the surface? This sudden urge to be alone, to cancel plans, to turn off your phone, to sit in silence, is not a coincidence. It's a sacred invitation, and it's arriving right on time. Around June 18th and 19th, the moon is activating something ancient in your field, a spiritual instinct to retreat before transformation. Just like animals seek solitude before shedding skin or giving birth, your soul is asking for space, not because it's broken, but because it's blooming. But here's what most people don't understand. Isolation is not loneliness. It's preparation. It's spiritual insulation. When your energy becomes porous, when the veil between dimensions is thin, even the most subtle interference can distort your clarity. That's why your guides are pushing you inward, so you can hear you. Not the world, not the noise, not the fear of others projected onto your path. Have you noticed that certain conversations feel exhausting lately? That being around specific people triggers a strange fatigue or inner pressure? It's not judgment. It's energetic discernment. Your system is becoming highly selective because you're about to receive frequencies that require protection. And in this stage, not everyone can sit beside you. So don't guilt yourself for needing space. Don't explain your silence. Solitude is not selfish. It's sacred. You are being repositioned in silence for a very loud breakthrough. Ask yourself, what thoughts only arise when I'm finally quiet? Who drains me? Even when they say nothing? What version of me emerges when I am alone and unfiltered? The moon in this phase doesn't just illuminate the sky. It reveals the shadows you've absorbed from others, and it gives you the chance to return to your own frequency. That return often requires solitude, because only in stillness can your inner compass reset. This is why you've been feeling like disappearing. Not forever, just long enough to remember who you are beneath the noise. The withdrawal is not a sign of weakness or instability. It's a divine pause, a spiritual chrysalis. And when you emerge from it, clearer, lighter, and deeply reconnected, the path ahead will no longer feel confusing. You're not meant to keep up right now. You're meant to go in. The real shift doesn't happen in the chaos. It happens in the quiet moments that the world keeps telling you to skip. Don't skip them. They are your doorway. Right now, something strange is happening. And if you're sensitive, You've already felt it. Time feels warped. Moments stretch and collapse without logic. You might wake up disoriented, not knowing what day it is. Tasks that used to be easy now feel dense, as if you're pushing through invisible resistance. Conversations repeat. People show up out of nowhere, triggering deja vu. This isn't just a psychological trick, it's a timeline shift. During powerful lunar phases like this one, especially as we pass through the energetic gate of June, April 18th to 19th, reality becomes more malleable. The quantum field responds to intention with amplified force, which means every decision you make now, especially the small ones, is aligning you with a version of reality you might not fully understand yet. Have you noticed how your body reacts differently to choices lately? How a yes feels like expansion and a no feels like inner nausea? That's not overthinking. That's timeline awareness. Your soul is mapping parallel paths, and your intuition is showing you which ones will bring collapse and which ones bring alignment. This is why you must be mindful of what you agree to, who you allow into your field, and what patterns you unconsciously repeat. Because you are not just deciding what happens tomorrow, you're anchoring which version of you gets to live it. And in this moment, the timelines are not only diverging, they are accelerating. Have you had moments of strange silence where you felt like you were standing at a crossroads? Or a feeling that a version of you is slipping away while another is stepping forward? This is the in-between space, the moment of spiritual choice. And even if nothing seems to be happening on the outside, your inner world is being rewritten. So what does this mean practically? It means don't rush, don't respond out of habit, don't say yes to comfort and no to growth. The version of you that's emerging wants peace, not performance. Clarity, not confusion. Alignment, not attention. The moon is not just pulling on the oceans, it's pulling on your future, and you have to decide which reality is yours before it fully lands. Do you want to repeat, or do you want to evolve? Do you want to be seen, or do you want to be free? This is the week to choose deliberately, to cut ties with versions of yourself that were built from fear, survival, or imitation, and to walk quietly and courageously toward the path that feels like home, even if no one else understands it. You are not late. You are not lost. You are simply standing at the edge of the next timeline. And the moment you choose with your soul, everything will align accordingly. There's a truth you've been circling for months, maybe even years, a wound you've avoided, a pattern you've normalized, a version of yourself you've protected because the pain of changing felt bigger than the pain of staying the same. But now, the moon has seen it, and it's not going to let you keep hiding. From June 18th to 19th, the lunar field becomes a mirror. Not the soft, romantic kind, but the kind that shows you the emotional residue you've been carrying in silence. All the suppressed grief, the quiet disappointments, the sacrifices you made, pretending you were fine. It's surfacing, not to break you, but to release you. Have you noticed your emotions rising without explanation? A sadness you can't name, an anger that surprises you? Or perhaps a strange relief, like something heavy has finally started to lift. This is the moon cleaning what you don't want to touch, not because you're being punished, but because your soul knows what's ready to go. This cleansing won't always look pretty. Sometimes it will come in the form of emotional release, sometimes as deep exhaustion, sometimes as a confrontation that forces clarity. But no matter the form, the intention is pure: freedom. The old you is being peeled away. And yes, it may feel like loss, but what you're losing was never meant to stay. What's dying is not your identity. It's the illusion you carried trying to be who others needed, instead of who your soul truly is. So let it burn, let it fall away. Let yourself cry if needed. Be still if your body begs for silence. Step back if your spirit needs room to breathe. Because in this lunar purification, what remains is what's real. Do you trust the moon enough to let it cleanse what you can't? The pain is temporary, but the clarity that follows is permanent. This is sacred fire disguised as emotion. This is rebirth through surrender. And if you allow this process to move through you, without resisting, without rushing, you will step out of this portal lighter, clearer, more you than ever before. You are not being destroyed, you're being unburdened. And sometimes, the greatest healing doesn't come from knowing more, but from finally letting go of what no longer needs to be carried. Let the moon do her work. She remembers the parts of you you've forgotten, and she's here to give them back.